Congratulations, your offer is accepted. Now what? First of all, on behalf of everyone on the Allegre Real Estate team, I want to say thank you for trusting us and allowing us to work alongside you in one of the biggest and most exciting purchases of your life. A lot of things are going to start happening, and we just wanted to let you know what's going to happen from now until the closing table. So part of the hard stuff is over. We've gone out, we've done the searching, we've found your home, your offer is accepted. The earnest money deposit is one of the first timelines we have to meet within your contract. Let's say we accepted an offer and are under contract officially on a Monday. By Wednesday, close of business banking, because funds are transferred via bank, your earnest money deposit in the amount that we put on the contract is due to the title or law firm that we will be closing with. You can either wire this money, you can drop off a cashier's check, or you can use the app that most companies have. The next important date on your contract is your home inspection contingency timeframe. This is typically between 5 and 10 days, depending on what we put on the contract. You will be receiving an email from the inspection company asking you to pay the invoice. In order for us to receive the report, the invoice has to be paid. I always advise you doing that prior to the home inspection so we don't have a delay in receiving that inspection report. Part of the home inspection is learning all about your home. This could also include a termite and moisture inspection that a lot of loans are going to require you have a clear letter for to close on your home. Once the home inspection is done, within about 24 to 48 hours, we'll get that official report given to us. By that time, we've usually already reviewed it with the home inspector, so we have a good idea of what we're going to be asking for on the official repair request document, which is going to be called the PICRA, and we'll have a in-detail video about everything that is included on the PICRA and how to navigate a successful PICRA. But for right now, we'll just leave it at, we want to make sure that you are comfortable in your home, but not providing a really big repair request for the sellers. Well, they might pick some of the smaller things and leave off some of the more important, bigger system things that are more important to you. Once we provide the repair request to the seller, we also go to a new time frame. They have 5 days to review it and get back to us so we can negotiate any changes that they might have on that. Once we have finalized that repair request and all are in agreement upon the negotiations, your lender will then order the appraisal. Most lenders do require you to pay the appraisal fee prior to ordering and obtaining the appraisal. So just make sure you watch out for that email from your lender to pay your appraisal fee, which is usually between $500 and $600. The appraiser will then go out to your house and make sure it's valued at what we offered at. If you remember, prior to us submitting the offers, we ran comps to make sure that we were submitting a offer that made sense to the neighborhood and the home itself. We don't want you overpaying for a home, but we also want to make sure that we submit a competitive offer. So the appraiser's job is to look at all the homes in the area and make sure that your specific home has a set value, and they will then provide that to the lender, and that will be the appraisal process. Along the way, you might be getting various emails or communication from your lender, depending on how they like to communicate with you via email, text, or phone call. It's always important that through this transaction, you make sure you stay on top of and respond to those emails or requests in a time is of the essence manner. They might request from you some updated pay stubs, some updated tax documents, bank statements. All these things are to ensure that we get the clear to close in order for you to be able to sign those closing docs and get the keys to your new home. Okay, appraisal is done. We came back in at value. Amazing. Now we can put a little check mark on that box. Might get a little quiet now. Lenders and underwriters are all doing their things on the background to make sure that you have a solid loan package to close with. And the seller, if we have any agreed upon repairs, are working on getting those repairs completed. So what we just need to do is kind of sit tight, wait for this little lull quiet time, and make sure that if anybody is requesting any documents from you, you get them to them in a timely manner so we can continue to track to our closing date. Once we get the clear to close, which is issued from your letter, meaning all contingencies have been met and they have verified everything that is needed for your loan process, we get that fancy email that says we are clear to close. Now, the title company is going to be reaching out to you to schedule our closing date. It's a day that we have set, but we really don't know what time that's going to happen. So I usually recommend that you kind of clear the whole day and plan on closing by 5 p.m. Before we go to closing, we're gonna do what's called a final walkthrough. We're gonna go visit your almost new home, and we're gonna make sure that it's in the same or better condition it was when we first submitted the offer. And the reason we say better is because if we ask for any repairs to be made and they were agreed upon, we wanna make sure those are done. There's a few different ways to do this. We can just do a final walkthrough. If there's things like light switches weren't working, we can flip the light switch on, make sure it's working. If there's items in the attic, the crawl, within the plumbing, I highly recommend we get a re-inspection. It is a cost, usually between $150 and $300, and that's where the inspector comes out and verifies the detailed work that has been done by the seller to make sure that the repair is adequate and to code. Again, this is an extra expense, but there's items that we can't see. We can't see in the crawl, we can't see in the attic. The inspectors go in there and verify that it's done, so you know that things were important to you to ask for repaired have been completed in a workmanlike manner and are up to code. Once we're at final walkthrough and we verify the house is in the same or better condition, there'll be a final walkthrough document that you'll sign agreeing that you are accepting the house in this condition. Once we have that done and we have your scheduled closing date, we're at the final steps. We'll show up to the closing table at the time they have set your appointment for. You'll sign some documents, takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And as soon as you sign that last document, as long as you have provided the funds that are needed and everything is met, we get to hand you your keys. That is the most exciting part for all of us. We are excited to be along with you in this journey, and we can't wait to hand you those keys.